All right, and good morning. Welcome to a Wednesday, September 16th edition of the Hi5 presented by the DH podcast. I've actually surprisingly, I've got good news to start off. So I didn't think that this would be our number one, but it slid across the desk early this morning. Um, Too many sources have now confirmed the Big Ten's back. Too many. And too many reputable sources. We don't have, these are actually verified, Sports Center, ESPN, McAfee, writers at ESPN like Rittenberg, NBC. Wait, it's too many to deny. Too many to deny. Because yesterday, while Matt and I recorded the podcast, there was a hot mic from Nebraska University president saying, "Yeah, you know what? We're saying that the Big Ten's coming back today. Like that's happening." And it looks like the Big Ten didn't do it just to prove Nebraska wrong, which now is funny, but at the same point in time, patently ridiculous. I'm at an impasse here with the Big Ten because I think they made too quick of a knee jerk reaction in canceling the season. I think that they made that too quickly, too much of a a decision without waiting for all the facts or without waiting for all of any new things that could come about. Because ever since they canceled, that they had three conferences that said, nope, we're not canceling, as well as new testing come out, as well as better methods for that rapid testing. So a lot of things have happened to enable these schools to come back and to be able to play. And of course, all the Big Ten students want to play. They're practicing. They've been practicing, but yet they're not playing. So they want to be able to get out there and they want to be able to play. And it looks like this is something that will happen today as well. From what the reports are saying, Bleacher Reports come out and say it. So it looks like the hot mic was true. It just looks like they are still so inept that they can't announce a date. So also, it's going to be an October 17th start is what we're looking at. They're going to try and cram 10 games in 9 weeks, which means that you're getting some weekday Big Ten. So since the MAC is not around, they are encroaching on MAC territory for this season, at least. Will only 10 games allow them to be able to show, and they're supposed to end the games one day before the College Football Playoff Selection Committee makes their final decision. And we all know this literally only just for Ohio State. Only. Unless Michigan beats Michigan State and Ohio State this year, which will not happen. But that's the only conceivable way that I could see that this affects anybody else. So ESPN's been reporting it. Everybody's been reporting it. So get ready. Get ready. Big Ten's back. Pac-12 is now in the dark, solely in the dark. We have no idea what they're going to do. Matt and I were talking, and he thinks that this is still a good job by Kevin Warren. I couldn't disagree anymore because I think that he's handled this so poorly, refusing to talk to the media, not dispelling any false rumors. I think that should be one thing that they're very good at, is dispelling false rumors, getting out ahead of the train, making sure that people see things. So that's, you know what? Regardless, I think we just need to be happy that the Big Ten is back. We all want to see it back. So take notes, folks, that when they return to football, they'll make it known for everybody. All right, now we actually get to some of the others in the top five as well that we had here. Let's see if we can find them. Okay, NBA playoff for number 2. This is Clippers lose Game 7. Not only have the Nuggets come back from multiple 3-1 deficits, but boy, they made the Clippers look bad in that second half. I mean, getting hit with the Mike Breen bang and it's against your team is absolutely gutted. Just gutted. And so Clippers got dominated in the second half. Plain and simple. There's no other way to put it. That they got demolished. Jamal Murray was on fire. Jokic was extremely consistent, doing exactly what he has to do. Murray dropped 40. Kawhi and PG dropped a combined 24. They absolutely continue to get hammered. This is also the third time that Doc Rivers has lost a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. Not the finals, just the playoffs. And he's only won the finals once with the Celtics. So in that game, and that series went 6 games. Number 2, I'm still literate. We're on number 3. Heat refuse to die. They are incredibly resilient. They take a 1-0 lead on the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And if you watch the game, there's a couple things to note. One, the Celtics lack the ability to close the door. Over a 10-point lead after the first quarter. A 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter. A 5-point lead with a minute to go in regulation. And the door can't be closed. And you want to know why? It's because the Miami Heat are incredibly resilient. And you can just tell how badly they want it. It would have been so easy when you're down 14 going into the fourth. Cough, cough, Clippers, cough, cough. To just roll over and die. And say, you know what, we're going to lick our wounds, come into game 2, we'll be back. They did not do that. So setting a precedent now that they won't die and that they can come back from whatever lead the Celtics throw them is not a good mentality if you're the Celtics. Because now you've given up 2 double-digit leads and you lost a lead in overtime too, by the way. So having that happen, massive morale boost for Miami. Massive. All right. Number 4 is going to be your NFL quick injury report. Michael Thomas is expected to miss Monday Night Football. The Saints wanted to put him on the IR, which means that he would be on a 3-week delay. He said, no way, he's not going to do that. So they're going to take it game by game and not put him on the IR. But at the moment, reports indicate he will be missing Monday Night Football. Now, as pivotal as he is to the Saints program, and he did put up the best receiving numbers last season of the NFL, that when it comes down to it, they beat the Bucs with him having less than 20 yards receiving. I mean, come on, folks. He is clearly valued, but they can write him out of the scheme if they need to. And it looks like they can. And maybe they've been using him as a decoy to say, hey, Michael Thomas is over here. You are always going to have to put at least a person and a half on him, or he'll be dead. And he will absolutely torch you. Well, that could be the case too. I may concede that one. The rest of his focus is mainly on the Steelers and their line. DeCastro was already out, but within 2 plays, they had Zach Banner and Stephon Wisniewski out back-to-back plays. And so now you've got younger, more inexperienced players coming in those 2 roles. So until DeCastro gets back, which we don't know when that will be, or at least I don't know when that'll be, I have no idea the seriousness of Wisniewski's injuries, but Banner is going to miss the rest of the season. So at the minimum, they're going to need that replacement for the next 15 games. How that will affect their line, I don't know. But having 2 starters gone and 1 in flux, not great for any line that's practiced with them all offseason. Last but not least, Allen Robinson. We talked about him on the podcast, so again, like, subscribe, whatever you need to do for those podcasts. But also, Allen Robinson is unhappy. His agent is now dispelling rumors. Good job, Kevin Warren. About wanting a trade and about making sure that he knew, or excuse me, not he knew, that the people knew that he was not requesting a trade or that he was not demanding a trade. Because that is what many of the rumors have said. He said, no, it's not us. That's not what we're doing. But we do know that he deserves more money because he was the highest performing offensive player for the Bears last season. And he wants to be paid top dollar like he believes he deserves. So that is not up to me. That's up to Ryan Pace, and that's up to the Bears organization to figure that one out. So that's about it. My only, kind of number 6 point, if we really have to put it here, is the Thursday slate. You get an NHL Game 6. The Islanders won. They're going to try and force Tampa Bay into a Game 7. NBA, you've got Heat Celtics Game 2. So what's really weird is you'll have both Game 2s, you'll just have the Eastern Conference that's done with 2 complete games, a full 24 hours before the West starts theirs, and the West ended yesterday. That's why I thought that. If they need to have pushed it back, but hey, I'm not ending this over. It's not my problem. Thursday night football, Browns-Bengals preview. So keep an eye out for those. We'll be having those drop, whether it's on the blog, whether it's on a smaller podcast, anything like that. We'll be getting it out to you and delivering it to you. All right, everybody, this has been another edition of the DH podcast for Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. My name is Nick, and we'll catch you on Friday.